So I don't want the Catholic Church to put psilocybin in the communion wine. Although part of me wonders what would happen if they did, and allowed the Mass to continue for however long the psilocybin seemed to endure, and have people engage one another or whatever rituals you would have. I've never been that talkative in these things. I want to contemplate and think. But do you think this connection can be made? I mean, if it's only made by freaks like me who are thoroughly heretical at this point. I mean, I'm a practicing homosexual, quite good at it at this point, and interested in psychedelics, but I can't get out of my head this extraordinary and bizarre sense that when I take these psychedelic drugs, all I hear is the voice of Jesus.
Andrew, I'm having a psychedelic experience right now. This is why I don't do drugs. I mean, as long as you're a good practicing homosexual, let's throw some drugs on top of it. And I mean this seriously, I think Pope Francis would be moved by your story. And I think the many, many priests, and I talk to many priests at the Vatican, I talk to lots of Greek Orthodox priests. I think they'd be very moved by your story. And it's part of the reason that I wrote this book. Now, the Eucharist works for lots of people. I'm not blaspheming the Eucharist. And by talking about all these heretical, subversive sects that were suppressed in the history of Christianity, I'm not trying to say anything subversive. What I'm saying is that it appears to me that there were alternative Eucharists out there that worked for some people. Now, about my own drug use and my own faith, I'll say this. In the very beginning of the book, I interviewed Dinah Baser, who's one of these volunteers who had psilocybin in the Hopkins experiments. She's an atheist. She describes herself as an atheist. And yet, when I was talking to her and I asked her about her psilocybin experience, she says it was as if she was bathed in God's love. And I say, why would an atheist use the word God? And she says, that's the only word I can come up with. It's as good as the love of the cosmos, the love of nature, the love of Mother Earth, etc. She says she's bathed in God's love. Now, I've never done psychedelics, but I absolutely know what it means to be bathed in God's love. It's been my entire life. I'm not supposed to be learning Latin and Greek. I'm not supposed to go in this mystery. I'm the first person in my family to go to college. My mom didn't go. My dad didn't go. I'm the middle son of 3 boys. My older brother didn't go. My younger brother didn't go. I'm a walking freaking miracle, man. This shouldn't have happened to me. And I was recruited on these scholarships to study this stuff. My weird identity crisis is that it's the Jesuits who gave me Latin and Greek. And it's the Jesuits who asked me to question the origins of our faith, because if you don't question it, what good is faith if it's untested? So I ask these questions, but at my root, I've had many mystical experiences. And when I listen to your story and I listen to Dinah Baser and the many, many volunteers who've gone through these psilocybin experiments, I see an opportunity for the church.